What's up, movie nerds and basketball geeks? Welcome back to MovieBall. Top 50 NBA Players Part 2! Today's episode is my second entry in my two-part video series of the top 50 current NBA players in the league. Today's episode is numbers 25 to sweet-ass number 1. Let's go! If you missed the first video, the link is in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. Number 25, Nikola Vucevic. A highly underrated center, Vucevic put up almost Karl Anthony Towns-like numbers last season, and nobody is mentioning it. 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists with just over a block as well. He's a very talented big man, and he's still under 30. Number 24, Jimmy Butler. This is probably way too low for a lot of people, but I've never been absolutely huge on Butler like most. A great player, yes, but an overrated one at that, who is an unquestionable locker room cancer. But as the only star on the Heat, he's going to put up big numbers. Number 23, Victor Oladipo. It sucks Oladipo got injured because he was ready to take over Indiana and he became one of the league's best shooting guards, and it's crazy how fast he made that happen. When he returns to full health, I'm sure he's going to average around 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, all while being a fantastic defender. Number 22, Devin Booker. Yes, I really do think that D-Book is better than Jimmy Butler and Victor Oladipo. He's definitely not a better defender than those two, but his scoring ability is just so damn good, and the other facets of his game are really starting to come together as well. And he's still under the age of 23. Number 21, Klay Thompson. I presume people will also be fussy about Klay's landing spot here, but other than unbelievable shooting and great perimeter defense, what else does Klay really do? Not that you really need more from a star player, but it's just rare to see a star player like that have a career average of 3 rebounds and 2 assists. It's not that Klay's bad at all. He's a great player. We all know that. And if he was on his own team, we all know he'd probably put up around 28 points per game. Number 20, Luka Doncic. Yup, I have Luka over big-time all-star names like Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, and Victor Oladipo. And I have no remorse about it. In my eyes, Luka is definitely a top 20 player in this league. He put up rookie numbers equivalent to LeBron James, if not better. He is in no time going to be a GOAT player, I'm telling you. Number 19, John Wall. This should also greatly upset people because Wall has become something of a meme as of late, but as I said in my first video, I'm excluding injuries and health issues, and because of that reason, I still think John Wall is a great point guard. He's one of the few players in this league that can still average 20 points and 10 assists. There's not many others. You can't even count them on one hand. It's just, yes, I understand a lot of people probably won't agree. It's hard to with his health concerns. But if you can see past that, and maybe you can't because you're just like, all right, Wall's just irrelevant at this point, missing almost 2 years. If you can see past that, I don't see why he's not a top 20 player. Number 18, Kemba Walker. The Celtics lost Kyrie Irving and basically signed Kyrie Irving. A shoot-first point guard, Kemba is an elite scorer that proved he's a top 5 point guard in this league. Don't believe me? Think about it. He's not. I literally have 5 point guards ahead of him in this video. Number 17, Rudy Gobert. The best defensive presence in the NBA, Gobert is an amazingly impactful center that might not be the flashiest and might not have the best offensive game, but what he does have is absolutely exceptional. Number 16, Ben Simmons. You might think I'm a little delusional for putting Simmons this high, but honestly, what makes him that much different from Giannis? They have the same game, and yes, Giannis scores at a much higher clip, but who says Ben Simmons can't do that? He has the tools to become a top 5 player in the NBA. Number 15, Blake Griffin. 2 years ago, Blake probably would have been around the 30 range. He had a bit of a fall off due to constant injuries and a lackluster focus on basketball, but this past season was one of his best seasons he's had in his entire career. He's a superstar, and hopefully he can stay healthy. Number 14, Kyrie Irving. I was never as big on Kyrie as others. In fact, I used to think he was so goddamn overrated that it wasn't until the 2016 finals where I finally started to believe the hype. He is a poor leader and he believes the fucking earth is flat, but other than that, I mean, he's probably the best ball handler of all time, and he's an insane scorer when he's in the zone. Number 13, Russell Westbrook. At this time last year, I still would have had Westbrook in my top 10, but unfortunately, due to an inefficient season and a typically Westbrookian method of playing basketball, he's kind of declined a bit for me. That's not to say that this man isn't dangerous, because he is, and I have no idea what the fuck the Rockets are going to be like, but I sure am excited. Number 12, Karl Anthony Towns. Towns is a top 3 center in this league, no question. He's an absolute monster offensively that can do just about anything. It's just about whether or not he can get his defense to a more respectable level if he wants to crack the top 10. Number 11, Paul George. And at this time last year, Westbrook's ex-teammate was probably around the 20 mark range. I like Paul George a lot. He's a great player, but it wasn't until this literal MVP caliber season that he just had cemented himself this high for me. Number 10, Damian Lillard. The man that destroyed an entire franchise with one shot. Damian Lillard deserves to be a spot higher than George for literally hitting that shot over him. I mean, he's a superstar that I really think will be in the MVP conversation this season. Number 9, Nikola Jokic. Quite possibly already the best passing big man of all time, Jokic is an unbelievable player that is also still super young and will continue to develop his game, leaving room for him to be in this top 10 players in the league for years to come. Number 8, Joel Embiid. I went back and forth a little bit between him and Jokic, but ultimately it just kind of became clear that Embiid just devotes all of his energy equally to both offense and defense, and he still scores almost 10 points more than Jokic does a game. They're different players, and they're both very good players, but I still think Embiid is a notch above Jokic. Number 7, Anthony Davis. Is it insane to have Davis this high? A lot of people would probably have him in their top 5, but honestly, when you get to this pool of players, it all just comes down to preference because they're all just so good. So it's just like, who do you like better? And maybe I knock Davis because of his behavior and the way he basically forced himself onto the Lakers. Maybe I just think the players that I have listed higher than him are better than him. Maybe it's a bit of both. Number 6, Kawhi Leonard. This one's also probably very controversial because Kawhi is recognized as one of the best players in basketball right now. Undisputed top 10, undisputed top 5 for a lot of people, but I think you can argue that. I don't know. Yes, he just won Finals MVP. He's an amazing player, both sides of the floor. To me, he just needs to work on that playmaking aspect of his game to really cement himself as a top 5er. Number 5, Steph Curry. The greatest shooter of all time. A lot of people have just kind of forgotten about Steph Curry as being a top 5 player in the league. Yes, top 10, a lot of people mention him, but when it comes to top 5, I don't hear his name as often anymore, and I think that's ridiculous. Maybe it was Kevin Durant taking that light away from him a little bit, but at the same time, just a few years back in his MVP season, people were like, all right, yeah, no, he's dethroned LeBron as the best player in the league, and now people don't even mention him, and that's crazy because he hasn't regressed. He's still amazing, and maybe by the end of this year, end of this season, he might throw himself into the top 3 category just because of the extra load he's going to have to carry to get this team to the playoffs. And they will easily get to the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to miss it or anything, but he is going to have to do a lot more. And he's going to have an MVP caliber season again. It's Steph Curry. He's great. Number 4, James Harden. The beard gets a lot of hate these days, and you could blame some of that on some lackluster-ish postseason performances as of late, but really the only aspect of his game that you could try to hate on at this point is just his below-average defense, which really isn't even that bad anymore. He's improved tremendously. He gets like almost 2 steals, if not 2 steals per game. He tries. He gets deflections. I think he led the league in deflections, unless I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. But fuck. I mean, he's got an insane game. I think he is better than Curry at this moment. He's a better playmaker. He's a better rebounder. I think he's just a better floor general in any sense of the word. He's a better scorer when it all comes down to it. Like, and just getting to the basket, I'm going to go Harden over Curry any day of the week. Number 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Not the other one. Giannis just won MVP, and he's like 4 or 5 years old, at least in NBA terms. That's how long he's been in the league, and he's a tremendous player. I just think that he really needs to get that 3-point shot down to consider him better than these next 2 players. Once he gets that, I think he's the best in the world. Number 2, Kevin Durant. If KD wasn't injured, honestly, I might have picked him to win MVP this year. That would make him a 2-time MVP, 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time champion, snake. KD is elite at every part of basketball. And at number 1, of course you knew who it was going to be because he hasn't been named yet, the Laker himself, Alex Caruso. Caruso has been in the gym all summer, and he's going to continue to dominate the league. Number 1 is LeBron James. A lot of people want to knock him because he hasn't made the playoffs, but I'm sorry. Did you all forget that this man went to 8 straight finals and you want to fucking give him shit because the Lakers missed the playoffs once he got injured? They sucked dick for 30 games straight and it was his fault that they didn't make the postseason this year? Look, when it comes down to it, LeBron still averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. I just have no reason to believe that anyone can confidently be named better than LeBron unless he shows some form of regression or decline. Why would I think that anyone is better than him? He hasn't declined his game at all in any way. He's the best player in the league. That's my list. I bet you got mad. Someone got mad. Someone was like, how is that person there? LeBron? Ben Simmons? Where is Jason Tatum? Where is Brandon Ingram? Where is Jared Dudley? Some of these players, I just don't think that they're there yet. I think that Jason Tatum will be a very good player and probably at the end of this season be a top 50 player. Maybe the same goes for Brandon Ingram. But look, it's right now is how I feel. And right now, I don't think those guys are ready. Like, comment, subscribe, repeat. Why would you do anything else? Just smash it. Smash the like button. You ever have sex? You know how to smash? You know what I don't have to go into detail, right? I could get graphic, I could say some things. But we're all imagining what I'm going to say. Just smash it. I've never had sex before.